Good morning, Astrolifers. So I am back. I said I will start again to do the videos and help you out with what we are going through. Because yes, we are not finished and we are not done. So I just want to make sure that you guys are okay. So from now on, I will be doing the videos again in the morning to make sure that I'm driving you through what's happening. And yes, it will be a little bit, a little bit troubled in August. There will be a few positions and stuff like that. And as I said, the stars will only start being good when we will be in September. And even though Mars will be retrograde, so not the best still for business. But then after that, it will be again getting better from November. But after we've done one more cleaning, that will need to happen around the 12th, 13th of November. So that brings me to explaining a little bit what's going on, because a lot of people are saying what's going to happen. You're saying that we're not done and stuff like that. No, we are not. So we are not in the sense of what's going on with Pluto and that Saturnarian aspect in Capricorn, is that we actually have how can I explain the best? The best is that you needed to be aware that things weren't done right, that there were some corrupt people. It's all coming out, and you can see there was someone speaking yesterday, about the ministers even being involved, some of the ministers being involved in the pedophile ring. I mean, they're starting to make decisions with all the police involved, or you can see, there's been the royals that have been maybe involved in that. People are starting to talk about not having presidents anymore, to make sure that there is more control, that there is more people that will start making decisions and not just one person. It's all the institutions. People are starting to not trust anymore, and they're starting to say, well, is it really the great decisions that we are, for example, locking again down Victoria and having, that second wave for so little cases, knowing that, we are getting forced to put some masks on, or that, we are getting forced to have some vaccines, or that, all those shops, the small and medium shops will crumble down, because economically speaking, they won't be able to survive and all those kind of things. So there's all those different layers of trust between the institutions, exactly right, between the governments or the people that so far, people were trusting, and where they're like, what, we're not so sure about that anymore. So it's going to keep on going until people actually fed up and say, look, we don't want that anymore, because that's the aspects of Pluto and Saturnarian. It's really the tower that is going to crumble down. So that's what I started to say last September when I said the world as we know it, and that's a big phrase, and that's a big sentence. The world as we know it is going to crumble down. The institutions as we know them are going to crumble down, and the world will change. This is where we're going. So we definitely are not done, because not all that has crumbled yet, So, and yeah, it can be, different things. People saying, yeah, we don't want to be, a cashless society because we still want to be in control. We don't trust the medias anymore. And all those kind of things. So this is what I'm talking about, and this is what's going on and what we are going through. So this is why we are not done. So that it is linked directly with the virus or not, it doesn't really matter, in the sense that it's way gone past the fact that there could be a pandemic or not. It's even with people imposing more radiation with the 5G and all those kind of things. It's way gone out of just the virus, as you can see all around the world. So that's what's going on. It's being aware of the way the power has been there, controlling, and what is true and what is not true, and the people waking up and saying, okay, we agree on this, but we, or maybe we don't agree on that. So that says a lot about that. So this is what's happening this year. This is what is changing. And yes, again, it's not to promote the program that I'm doing, but I will be taking some more people. There is a waiting list that is open now, and I will start another group in September. I do follow the stars, so I do that. If you are wanting to change your life, if you are wanting to have clients lining up like they are, now with my elites, you need to make sure that you are getting ready, that you are starting to organize yourself, to have some passive income, some products, some things where you are going to be able to do your purpose, because with Jupiter in Aquarius, you really have to take your place into this world. Remember, you are born for a reason. You have a purpose to fill up, and you have something to do here. I can tell you what it is, there's no problems, that's my job, but you have to make sure that you are doing it for a lot of reasons. First, because karmically you will be aligned, so you will have no difficulties to be able to do it, because it is what you are supposed to be doing, but also you will fulfill your place in that new world that we are creating, because it's well said that we want to have a new world, but that new world needs to be better. We want to leave a better world to the kids, to our grandchildren, a better legacy behind. And if you want to do that for the future, you need to be having the right place, the right role, and also being able to have the freedom, because that's what it will be all about, having the money, rolling it, and having the freedom, and not being dependent on a system saying, yes, you can open your shop, no, you cannot open your shop, and all those kind of things. So if you need me, you know where I am, and you can see the testimonials of the elites. There's some more testimonials coming up with the results that they are getting. So at one stage I will share again some more testimonials. There was about 150 people that applied, but only took 20, and same here, this time in September. It's just because I really want to have the time to look after people. I'm not just selling a program, I'm really helping people to change their lives completely, so I cannot take too many people, so if you want to be in, just let me know, because I will open the doors again in September. So okay, so what has been going on with the stars on a day-to-day basis on this week is that obviously we have that new moon, second one in Cancer. That's unusual to have two in the same star sign, but the thing is that, yes, exactly right, there's been an opposition with Saturn, so a lot of people are like, okay, there's a new moon, it's all about healing, but I'm still feeling stressful, I'm starting to have a little bit of doubts on certain things as well. I'm not sleeping so well at night, and you can see also a lot of people being sick, and there's been a lot of people coming up with cancers or psychological problems, and losing it, in other words, having breakdowns, even as I said yesterday, a lot of people that have been suicidal, having some entities, being overwhelmed, all those kind of things. It is what's happening. It's making sure that all those things are kind of popping up, and you cannot say that you are not affected. If some kids are being tortured and stuff like that, it is energy that is created, and that energy unconsciously will come back to you, because remember, we are all made of energy. So into this planet, we do feel consciously and unconsciously what's happening onto the other side. So you need to really understand that. And I've seen a lot of young people not being well. Usually it's more kind of, okay, I've lost my job, I've lost my business, so I'm not okay. But now you're starting to see a lot of young people, teenagers, young people really starting to be sick, and people are like, wow, what's going on? Well, this is the result of all that, all that stress coming up, and they do feel it. Remember, for the people that have psychological problems as well, and really not being okay lately, it's also because with everything that we are going through, we are really fighting the dark against the light, or I should say the light against the dark. So it is a big battle. It's really something on the world, on the planet, that is working on different level, that you believe in the dark forces or not, or that it is, seen as we were talking about before, with the cabal, the rings of the pedophiles, all these kind of things, and more, because obviously it's not just that, it's all the rest. So it's normal that people are reacting like that. If you need help, if there are some big cases like that, that's what I've been looking after, even when I was on holidays, those kind of things, emergency cases, I always look after people. I've got teams, of people where I refer you to, if you need help for different things, so do not hesitate if there were problems like that, because there might be a lot more, and that's why also I'm making sure that my elites are ready to be able to take on the demand that there will be, because there's going to be a big demand. So I also give my clients to the elites, if there is a problem that is concerning that, you can go with that elite. And also, obviously, I look at the compatibility of date of birth, because if you're going to have someone looking after you, you better be compatible with that person. So depending on what you are looking for, and also the compatibility. So yes, I do give, my elites, that's part of the whole idea, is that they are ready, they got big programs, and when everything is done, that after that, they also get some of the people that I can look after and help, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to need help once we will be done with the changes that we are going through, especially in mid-November onwards, and also the last fall, if I can talk about it like that, the last fall that there will be with the stars, will line up with Capricorns, and then all falling towards Aquarius. So there's going to be big changes. So we are not done. Some people have been asking me, do we need to start storing things and stuff like that? I don't want you guys to go berserk again. That was, ridiculous to the point, of people. But you can always add up one extra box of tissues or one extra pack of toilet paper if they wanted to shut the borders again. It did happen, it's true, when, again, those planets met at the end of the month of June, the beginning July, which obviously is an effect that can be diluted in a few days, the time the decision is taken and so on. But you could do that, but that's what I'm trying to say. In very small quantities, you've got time, we're not there yet, they're not meeting again yet, and you definitely don't want to have those problems where we could see even some old people not even being able to have anything anymore. That was just definitely not necessary. You've learned from the first wave, it was not necessary. Everyone survived, and you had what was needed, and if there was no toilet paper, well, there would have been tissues. It's not the end of the world, so yes, definitely there will be something coming up, and yes, there will be some more changes, and yes, big changes, because obviously we are not done with the work that needs to be done. But again, remember, and I all want you to really think about that, is to leave a better world behind. I want you to understand that all that work is being done to finally have more truth, have more, better things for humankind, and a better future, even planet-wise, with Mother Earth and everything that is going to be better for our children. That's why all those changes needed to occur. Because if we start talking about an unconscious level, it's also something that we have wanted. Things cannot happen without people wanting a change, if that makes sense. So obviously the pressure was coming from the planets and governments with what I talked about with Pluto and all that, but the reaction comes also from us, wanting things to change. So but that's another story. But we were also tired of living the way we were living and destroying everything. We were conscious of that. So it's another debate, but that consciously you can create a reaction and things like that. So but that's another conversation. Okay, so overwhelmed, stressful, also seeing clearer. People are starting to see clearer. Mars has shifted in Aries. In Aries, you start looking and you start seeing things. And you're like, you know what? We can't really blur things up. Yes, there's been an aspect with Neptune and Jupiter. So for the moment, it's not quite clear, but it's starting to be. We have moved in Leo since yesterday. And things are starting to be a little bit clearer and saying, know what, I'm kind of wanting to take control of things now. I'm starting to see this, I'm starting to see that. So you can see that everything is popping up. You know, in the commentaries, I do share what I do see coming up. And you're starting to see things saying, you know what, now I'm starting to be awake. I'm starting to wake up. I'm starting to see clearly. It's normal, especially Mars has been in midpoint between Mercury in Cancer, and we still have obviously those 3 planets that are in retrograde in Capricorn. So it's time for changes, and people are starting to feel it and starting to say, you know what, I'm starting to think that yes, we need some changes and that some stuff are not okay. So if you're starting to feel like that in the next few days, because it is linked with the thinking and what feels right with that aspect in Cancer, with the new moon, saying, you know what, that feels right, that doesn't feel right. I'm starting to think I want things to be controlled, but to be straight. Those aspects that you have, you know, in a fire sign, wanting to be clear and well done. So if you're starting to have all that, it's completely normal. It's linked with that. Now we do have also Mercury that is sextile with Uranus. So it's normal also that some stuff is popping up because of that. So it's helping us to see more. So in the next few days, be ready to have some more informations coming up. You can already see it this week. There's a lot of stuff, extremely important stuff that are coming up. I actually share them on my personal profile. If you're interested and are not friends with me, because I'm limited now with the 5,000, I can always share it on my page if you want me to share some informations there. I don't want to you know, overcrowd you guys, because I also want people to stay positive, but you know, positive doesn't mean not to be objective. So sometimes it's good to be informed on things. It's true that I don't share too many things on my page, but I actually could, because if you are interested in that, just let me know and I will share them as well over there, so you kind of you know, see what I do find, if I do find. So yes, a lot of things popping up, some surprises coming up that are going to help us to see clearer. So that's what is in the next day or two for sure, with that aspect with Uranus that is there. Remember that aspect in Uranus as well with that planet is in Taurus for the moment, long-term longevity, seeing things the way they are. It's very kind of, you know, open in the sense that you are seeing what's going on. And so, yeah, normal that we are thinking long term, and that we are thinking if the base, the foundations of the world are good or not good. So it's completely normal that we are asking ourselves those kind of questions, and it's completely normal that the universe is showing us if it is or not. And from that point, we will react definitely in those few months coming up. So that's it for today. Look after yourselves. We are still in that healing process, as I was saying with Cancer. It's all about healing the self with the love that you are doing, with what is feeling right for you, and again linked with your purpose, what you want to develop, and all those kind of things. And yes, and then I shall see you tomorrow with some great news. That's going to be some good stars coming up. So I will talk about that, and I really want you guys to enjoy this weekend coming up as well. So, and I'll explain why tomorrow. Okay, see you. Have an awesome day. Bye.